but feel free to unmute as always. And yeah, I would like you guys to share if you have translations of these sentences. Number 2 and 3 are really hard. Some of these are pretty hard sentences. But we just have a vocab quiz tomorrow, not a translation quiz. But I still want to be very clear about how we should translate all of these. So guys, this is the last Latin class for 11 days. I will not do a class tomorrow. Maybe I'll see you guys virtually during the assembly, which I'll try to post that link for the assembly, by the way, before 8 o'clock. And you can take the vocab quiz during this time tomorrow, but we will not have class.
I have a question.
Yes, what's that?
What time is the assembly?
It's 8 o'clock, as usual.
Okay. I wasn't able to make the last one because I wasn't sure what the time was.
Yeah, it should start around 8:05.
Okay.
If we do more virtual learning, I'm not sure what December looks like yet. Obviously, guys, I don't think anybody does. We don't know if we're in building or not. But I will figure out how to do some kind of game on Friday. We could probably do Jeopardy, honestly. I'm just not, maybe not quite yet, but soon in the future on Fridays we would do either Jeopardy or someone told me about, I wrote it down, what's it called? There's some, I don't know if you need a phone for it. But anyway, okay, let's see the application.
You could do a Latin Kahoot.
Yeah, okay, Kahoot. Kahoot was the one. So I should look into Kahoot some more. Maybe not for tomorrow, but eventually. Possibly in December if we unfortunately are bound to e-learning during that time. So we have illa, illid, this pronoun that means that, or in the plural it means those, and its evil twin brother ista, istid, which is the same thing. And then we have hic, hac, which means this, plural. We have 7 or so irregular adjectives. I told you guys I'm going to put a lot of these on the quiz tomorrow, but I won't put nullus, which means no or like none, or uter, which means either. And then, so yeah, once we're done today, you should spend a little more time studying this list, which I'll post in the posts one more time.
I have a question.
And that's your quiz tomorrow. What?
So where can we print this out so we can study it before the quiz tomorrow?
This
I
is
don't know. I don't have that yet.
This is in a whole bunch of places. You guys, I wish I could show you again how to use my notebooks. It's in the very first video I posted last Monday. But you go to class notebook when you're on Teams on a computer, and then go to, like, there's a little purple arrow in the corner, you click it, and team, click homework, click week 13, and then you get to a page where I dump a lot of this stuff. But like I want you to be able to do that, but I'll just post it in the posts area, you know, like the general posts area. I will post it there right after this class. So it'll,
thank you.
Yeah, it's on the bottom of your summary that I wanted you guys to print out on Monday, but I know not everyone did. All right, this first one's not too bad. It's number 2 and 3 that are really nasty. But hic totus liber multos locos literarum romanorum laudat. I want to hear from people, but real quick, I'll just put the hic hac up there. And then locus is usually going to be place, as in location. But our dictionary entry tells us in the context of talking about like literature, it can be as in a passage of literature. Does anybody want to share their translation of this one?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. This whole book was praising the many places and letters of Rome. Who's doing the tapping?
Yeah, don't do the tapping, but that's very good, Nevaeh. That's almost exactly right. You said was praising. Laudat here is just good old present tense. So it's just praises, like praises present tense. And then you kind of split up locos and literarum. But other than that, that was really good. So let's work through it. Hic, totus, and liber. And they might not look like it, but they actually all go together. If we look at the chart here, hic obviously is like the nominative masculine singular form. That should be clear, right? Like it's when we refer to this pronoun, we say hic, hac, hoc. That's us talking about the 3 nominatives and of each gender: the hic, the hike, the hoc. This is hic, so it just means this. And are there any masculine nominatives next to it? Oh, totus is obviously masculine nominative, and liber is that less common second declension masculine nominative ending. So yes, all 3 of these go together, even if they don't totally look like it. So it'll start off with this whole book. That's all that is, or this entire. Totus can be whole or entire. And then we run into multos locos, which is, what case is multos locos, anyone?
Genitive?
Not genitive. There is a genitive in the sentence or two.
Oh, accusative.
Yes, right? Like that's our direct object, so we're not ready for it right off the bat. We need a verb between our subject, which is this whole book, and multos locos. And that verb is laudat, which is just good old present tense. So this whole book praises, and it would normally be like many places, but here it's going to be many passages. And then I just gave it away, but what case are literarum Romanorum?
Genitive.
Good, very good. And I just realized I'm not record. No, I did press record, right? Okay.
Yeah, it's
Can I share my
recording.
Cool.
You unmuted.
Yeah.
Can I share my translation?
So,
What's that?
I said, can I share my translation?
Of this sentence? Yeah, go ahead.
This whole book praises many passages of the Roman literature, I think.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, so many passages of. So be careful that like multos locos go together. That's the actual direct object. Many passages. And literarum Romanorum go together. They're with genitive. So it's many passages of Roman literature. Remember, it's like good to be able to group words together like this, but make sure you know what the actual noun is. Like logos is the actual noun here, but it has an adjective buddy in multos. Literarum is the actual noun here, but it is Roman literarum that is its adjective buddy. So it's easy to tell the direct object and the genitives kind of lumped together, but the nominative, which is hic totus liber, they almost don't look like they go together. But if you stop and think about it, they actually are all nominative, singular, masculine. According to the chart that is back here, there it is. There it is. Yeah, so just normal hic. If you ever just see normal old hic, H-I-C, that's this in the nominative, masculine, singular. All right, there's a noun chart in case people need to review their three declensions. It's kind of like we have our own weird pronoun declension now. All right, he igitur illis deabus eri gratias agebant. This and number 3 are really tricky. They got some weird things going on. But one of the weird things about this sentence is it has it in common with the sentence that was on the translation quiz last Friday. So maybe you guys are used to this weird thing where ago agora, it can mean way too many things. It can mean do, act, spend, lead. It'll mean give when its object is gratias, which means thanks, as in thanksgiving. But what do we do with he? Does anybody want to share their translation? Because he certainly might have thrown people off.
My translation was, those goddesses, therefore, was leading these Greeks yesterday.
That's a really good effort, because those goddesses is correct for illis deabus, but that won't be the subject, and I'll try to explain why, but that's really close. He is the subject. It's just like H-I. I know it almost sounds like I'm not even saying anything, but we would say that like he, not high, actually. This would be high right here.
Share mine.
Yeah, what'd you get?
They praised the goddesses yesterday.
That's very good. We can actually do more than they. That's like basically correct. And
Yeah.
our subject's technically they, but it's better if we translate he as what? Anyone? Does anybody want to tell me what they think we should? Because if we look at he, it's not like hic totus liber, where like hic had a buddy, right? Where it's like this going with the book, so it's just this book. We don't need to understand the gender, even though it is technically masculine. Where this guy doesn't have a nominative plural buddy. He's nominative plural. It's this one right here, nominative masculine plural. So plural version of hic. Right? That long I can actually make us think of second declension endings. But he doesn't have a nominative buddy, so it's not like these somethings. It's just these, and so we need to add something based on what gender it is. And it is masculine, right? So he is going to translate to these.
Hey, Mr. Cananello, I couldn't quite hear because I'm hearing music or something. I don't know.
Yeah, let's go ahead and do another call real quick. Remember, guys, it's up to you. Like, if you have any kind of extra noises going on in the house, which is really common, I'm not like saying that's bad or like it's like, of course, a lot of you have siblings that are working, but you gotta keep that mic off. You just gotta keep it off. All right, but he is gonna translate to these men, which is a little weird. But remember, it's like say it was if there was let's see, what's a good word? These discipuli. If we wanted to say these students, That's how we would say it. He would have a buddy here, and we would translate it as these students. But since there is no noun friend for he near it that has like the same case number and gender, we need to know what gender it is, and it's masculine, so it's going to be these men. And therefore, Agabon is what tense? Anyone? What tense is Agabon? Present, future, or imperf? Past.
Future.
No, that'd be Agabont, like Bont cake, right? This is Bont, B-A-N-T. Think of back in the day.
Imperfect.
Yeah. And so since Ago, it means give when the object is thanks. It's very weird. It is, that would have been really tricky if you didn't remember that from the quiz last week. It'd be these men therefore gave or were giving thanks. Harry just means yesterday. And then what do we do with Illis Deabis? These might not look like it, but Illis Deabis actually go together. They are both either ablative or dative plural. All right, that's that classic ablative or dative plural ending the is. And then Deabis, like Philia, daughter, gets this weird ablative dative plural that actually looks kind of like third declension, even though it's really from the first. But anyway, they could be ablative or dative. It turns out if we're giving thanks, we want to be giving a direct object thanks to an indirect object dative. So that's what they are. It's a thanks to those goddesses. So we have the plural of Hikikok here and the plural of Illa, Illa, Illa. So it's not this men, it's these men. And it's not that goddess, it's those goddesses. So it's kind of tricky to remember that Hikikok is this and these, and Illa, Illa, Illa is that and those. But I will put both of those words on the vocab quiz tomorrow. Like, I'll put Hikikok, and you'll need to say this, comma, these. And then Illa, Illa, Illa is that, comma, those. So definitely review that part of the vocab, which I will repost. What was that? I will repost that at the end of this. Okay, this is the other really nasty one. Illa de vitiis istius reginae nux scribam et ista poinas dabit. Does anybody want to share? That's okay, because this one's really... Oh, go ahead.
That life from the queen now, write and pay that penalty.
Oh, pay that penalty is really good because do dare, just like how ago will be give when thanks is the object, do dare plus poina won't be give penalty, it'll be pay penalty. So excellent job with that part. But this is not life. This vitiis is not life. What's that? Who else wants to share?
I will.
Go ahead.
These fellows gave not wrong one. I will write about the crimes of that queen now, and she will pay penalties.
Very good. Who is that? Sorry, I can't.
That's Bo.
Oh, Bo. Yeah, good job. I will write is perfect because scribam here. So when we first see illid, we don't know what to do with it because it could be a nominative subject or an accusative direct object. We're not really sure yet. And they're using neuter, which tells me that it's going to be that like thing, not that person. If they're like pick the gender, masculine or feminine, they wouldn't have gone with neuter. But anyway, once I look at my verb, scribam, that is third conjugation. So that's that weird, the really weird, my least favorite verb ending. It's first person singular future tense, actually. It doesn't really look like it because it's the weirdest third conjugation future tense ending, but it is a future tense ending. So it's I will write now that, and like this can be the direct object. I will write that. And we can add thing if we want, because again, it's like it's not masculine or feminine. So that's like when they use neuter, when they want to use illa illa to refer to something that's not something. But you don't have to. You can just say I will write that. But I might even add thing. Whereas like, in this sentence we added men for he here. You can add something if you need to, and I won't add man or woman because it's neuter. I would just add thing. So I will write that thing about day, and then this is not life. This is actually crime, and so I will write that thing about the crimes, and then now can go anywhere. Then istius reginae. Remember, istius is the same as illa. Okay, and this is that weird genitive, that ius genitive that is now showing up for both hic and illa and ista, but you still translate it just like illa. So it's just gonna be that. And these don't look like it, but istius and reginae actually are both genitive here. They're both genitive. It's kind of weird. So it's the crimes of that queen. Now the only way that ista is sometimes translated differently than illa is where it's like that something of yours, where it has a possessive energy. But I won't even really worry about that now. We could say about that queen of yours, but you don't need to add yours. Ista really is identical to Illa, same pronoun. And Ista Dabit Poinos. The weirdest thing back here is that Ista is all by itself, and that's probably a new subject for the last part of the sentence. It's just like Illa. So we're probably talking about the queen now because I see it's feminine. So how can we translate at Ista? Anyone? And or not the, it'll be, what does Illa mean, anyone? This or that?
This queen?
Not this. Hikakak is this, whereas Illa is that. So it'll be that. And we could say queen if we wanted to, but we could say that woman. Dodare here is future tense. Will pay the penalty, or technically it's plural, so we could say penalties. Yeah. So that woman. And I put that in italics because that's the other thing about Ista. It sometimes has more of a negative connotation than Illa. But yeah, it is important that you distinguish Illa and Ista are that and those. We still lack a mnemonic for it. And Hikakak is this and these. Yeah. I don't know, like maybe like if you're ill, maybe you have to go get a thermometer from across the room. And so you'd say like, oh, bring me that thermometer. Whereas I don't know, I'll workshop it, guys. Over Thanksgiving break, I will try to think of a good mnemonic for Hick versus Illa. All right, we got two more, and you guys can help too. Think of something that helps us remember Hick is this and these, and Illa and Ista are that and those. All right, Neuter, Alteri. Oh, this one's weird too. This was actually a whole bunch of weird, hard sentences. All right, Neuter, though, if we look at our dictionary entry for this new word, Neuter, Neutra, Neutrum, that's just our nominative. So that's our subject. We can tell just by like looking at the dictionary entry that is the masculine singular nominative subject. And it just means neither. That's literally what Neuter means. Alteri, though, that's kind of weird. That might be, if we look at the way these 7 slightly irregular adjectives decline, that's actually how they decline to the dative. You get that long I. I don't know what it is, guys. These 7 adjectives are mostly normal, but they have a wacky genitive. There's an I-US for some reason, and they have a wacky third declension looking dative, which is long I. So that's dative. I don't know what to do with it yet, but I know that neither, because Dodare here is future tense, just like it was future tense back in this sentence. So neither will give. What are they going to give? They're going to give a direct object, right? Does anybody want to share before I finish up?
I do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Neither you will give the other your full supply of money.
Oh, that's really good. That's like basically totally correct. Good job. Yeah, so neither will give the direct object according to is a full supply of money. So plenum, copium here are direct objects. Almost every time we've seen copia, it's been plural, and we've translated it as troops. But here it is just good old supply. So neither will give this direct object of this genitive. Tum is just then. It's very bland adverb that just means then. To, and now we have a reason why alteri is dative, to the other. Alter and alias are these new adjectives that mean other. And here it's kind of functioning like a pronoun. So that's that pronoun right there. I'll go back. But alias and alter mean, they kind of both mean other. Sometimes they can mean like another or the second, maybe, if there's like a list of things happening. Good. All right, any questions on that one? We're making excellent time. All right, last one. This one was slightly less tricky than 2, 3, and 4. Potesne laus oleus terrae essa perpetua. So potesne, remember, kind of knock off the ne and how you're looking at it, like mentally or visually, like just kind of get rid of that. This is from Possum Posse. It's just good old present tense. Remember that last handout I gave you guys before we started e-learning has possum and sum in all of their forms, all 30 of each of their forms on the back of that page. But anyway, It just means can here. Can the subject, right? And what is the subject? Anybody want to share this one?
I do.
Go ahead.
Will we be able to praise Earth to be lasting?
That's super close. That would be how you translate this if it was poterit. That would make it future because you said, will we be able to? It's just potest and it's third person. So it's more just like, can our third person nominative subject do something? How subject. Anybody else want to share? I mean, that was close. And praise, or is praise able to is another way to do it, but let's just go with can praise. And then what about praise? We have essa, that's our weird infinitive. But before that, even oleus and terrai, they might not look like it, but they can both be what case? Terrai can be a few things, but oleus could really only be one thing. And we were
Nominative?
just not nominative. So the US at the end of oleus looks nominative, but if it was nominative, it would just be olus, like it is there. The IUS, oleus, that makes it
Genitive.
yeah. So again, that's like the other quirk besides weird, boring hickok and illid, is that they give us these 7 or so adjectives, and they have a weird genitive and dative. But if you can wrap your mind around that, like that is the whole chapter. So they are both genitive. So it's like, can the praise of, olus means any, terra means land, so it's of any land. And then essa just means to be forever, or like perpetual or lasting is what. And then essa, usually we think of it meaning to be. But if we want like a stronger version of that verb, it could be more like exist. So I don't know. I just thought exist might sound even better here, but be is totally fine. Essa usually means be for us. But yeah, don't forget possum takes an infinitive, and this just happens to be our like one of 2 really weird infinitives. It doesn't end in are or eerie, but it is an infinitive nonetheless. All right, any questions on these? We can go back to any of them. We have some time. Anyone? All right, so I will post a screenshot of this to the...
Can we go back to 2?
Yeah, totally. But yeah, again, I will post this, and I'll make sure it's a good version to study. I'll do that. I have a class right after this one, so I might not do this until 9:30ish, but I will do it nonetheless. And you said number 2 is this one. Yeah, this one's weird. At least, so you just gotta like develop an eye that somehow looks at these endings and think that they go together. Because obviously they don't look like the same kind of ending, but they actually are both ablative and dative, or dative. In this case, dative. But that is an advanced Latin technique to be able to look at that and be like, oh, those actually go together. They don't look like it at all, but they totally do. Any other ones? I'm gonna clear my throat. Any other ones people need to look at?
Can we do 4?
4 was the this one with the weird. So yeah, the weird thing about, I thought alteri was genitive for a little while. I was tutoring someone yesterday, and that's when I caught that it was actually dative. I thought this was genitive because I forgot the rule of this chapter about these weird adjectives and their weird genitive and dative singular. But it was a learning moment, so it was good. All right, guys, and then yeah. So enjoy your Thanksgiving break. By the way, take it easy. Don't worry about Latin for a little while. We'll hit the ground running when we come back, finish up this chapter, do a midterm study guide, whether we're in the building or e-learning. We're gonna crush it regardless. And 2021 is coming up. But have a good turkey week and eat delicious food. And think of a mnemonic for Hickok and Illa. But other than that, I will see you guys in the assembly tomorrow, and good luck on the vocab quiz. I'll post the thing pretty soon, and I'll see you guys pretty soon. So yeah, have a good week, guys.
Bye, Mr. Carnello.
Bye.
Have a good Thanksgiving break.
I'll just be here in Minecraft world. Goodbye. And meeting. All right.